Hi guys, I am Anjali, a friend of Pravalya's from NIFT. So, with her recent release of this feature film called Gami, I was intrigued to get to know about more about how she's achieved this magnum marvel of a movie, especially regarding the whole production design. As an accessory designer to a production designer, let's dive into how she's gotten from that to this. Hey, Pravalya.
It was a long journey which I just went with the flow as such, and there was no plan as such. But yeah, I feel fortunate to have been given this opportunity to build sets and create this world in the film Gami. It's like my film school.
Right.
Like I got to learn so many things from VFX to matte painting or how the staging is done. Whatever from A to Z, whatever I had to know, I just learned in this film. Fortunately, I had the time to do my trial and errors to get the best out of me. So I initially graduated from NIFT in 2018.
And I think you were working at LiveSpace then.
I was working in Inhabit. Karthik found me in one of Aditi's sets where I was working there for a song shoot, and that's when I happened to meet Vidyadhar because of Karthik. And it started with small little props like the scroll holder or the map or the book which they find in the tent.
Right.
In Varanasi, right? Shankar gets it.
Right.
So I offered them that I can make those, and I made them, and that's when they decided that they want to go ahead with me.
Right. So let's reel back a little and talk about that music video set that you've done. Mainly because you were an accessories designer who dealt with from that to building a life-size set. What was the thought? Like, how did you know that that is what something that you'd be good at, or that you could even pull it off?
I'm not sure if I can answer this, but the keen observation I have when I look at things or when I'm learning design also, during college also, whatever I learned, it's design. Though we did not have so much of practical knowledge in terms of this huge space design, but we had our basics, right? The fundamentals helped me to understand the balance or proximity, the elements of design, how to use repetition in a set. So if you see the doors in the corridor are repetition. That's what we learn in college in our foundation program. What is repetition? How to apply it is I learned I think now while working at it. But I'm sure even as an artist I've been painting since my childhood. That's why I could add so much in terms of color also to this world. Otherwise, I would have just called a painter and asked him to paint it green. But then it wouldn't be the same. So I think it's the amalgamation of the artist in me and the designer in me, which I learned in my college, and whatever I could do my research on. Whatever films we like and whatever artists we like, we look the curiosity. I think you need to be curious to learn something and execute it. I think that helped.
I believe even material science, understanding of materials. I think the first year of NIFT gave us that whole understanding of what material to use where, because in further segments I'm sure we'll talk about your fun uses of foam board and all of that, but that's great. So let's dive into the film and talk about the title. Can I know more about the logo?
I think I just feel honored to be part of so many things in this film. It's like I got to do logo, I got to do illustrations, I got to build sets. It's like my creative juices were just flowing all through. And because I'm so thorough with the script, I have traveled with the director so much, and I know what sets we built and what are the characters who are there in that environment. So I know that a logo is supposed to represent all of these, right? And we also have 3 parallel stories running here. So the whatever feminine parts of the logo you see, that's what is representing Uma and her mother's relationship, which is,
The
softer.
soft strokes, yeah.
Yeah. And whatever withered, dry brush strokes you see here and here, that's like whatever rough patches, 333 or Shankar go through to achieve whatever they are going through in their life. Overall, all of this comes together to combine as a whole, which is Gami for us, right?
Right.
So when we had our discussions in terms of our mood board, or what is the logo supposed to depict, all of this was what I was considering in my head back then, when I was going through the references which me and the director pulled in. I got inspired from Japanese calligraphy called Shodo, wherein they make these huge mop arts of ink and dry brushes.
I think you've also done a video of the mop art, right?
Yeah,
the link is in the description.
To it,
you guys should go and watch it. It's like amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
It feels meditating to just paint with ink and brush sometimes for me. So that enthu just brought me to this of...
You were approached as a production designer for this film, right? And many directors reach out to calligraphy artists and all of that for logo, and that's not entirely your job to come up with the logo.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Initially he did approach other artists, and he was not so... he shared those logos with me, and I told him I am not liking them much. So
very bold.
He was like, yeah, I feel the same. Then I said, are you okay with me giving it a shot? Just let me just scribble for a day or two, and let's see if it goes in some direction. If not, you can go find other people.
Right.
So that's when I tried to scribble during lockdown, and that's the result.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So having done this, did you also further upon take up doing these artworks in the film? Title credits avi vastunnappudu kuda they were, I think some of them are here as well.
Yes.
Right?
Okay,
Ilanti,
yeah.
all of this.
Yeah.
So did you do that by yourself? Or did you pitch in? Were you asked to do it?
Like for the mushroom sequence wherein the Baba is trying to explain Shankar about the importance of Malipatra, the mushrooms. Director wanted me to do those 2 to 3 illustrations specifically. And I clearly told him I'm not a digital artist, so I would do the traditional art. He said, yeah, fine, I want that.
Wow.
And that's when he was also looking for title sequences. Like we discussed what title sequences were exciting to us. I really like Seven and Dragon Girl. Yeah, so all of that we were like so intrigued by them, and we were like, let's do something very intriguing for our film as well. And that's when I pitched if he's okay with me giving him illustrations and handwritten fonts, which we handwritten fonts we couldn't do for the title sequence, but we have it in
throughout
the film.
Yes.
We have those locations.
The cat cell
and so for that also I was like, see, considering people's attention span, when there's such a nice landscape in the on the screen,
nice framing.
How do you feel, how do you think people would read it? So I said, let's put icons there. Like if it's a Dronagiri Parvat, let's put a mountain there, so that if not people are able to read it, let them see the icon and decide, okay, now the journey starts here. And so that's why Devdasi temple has a little temple. So
that's like that.
So that's how I pitched the icons, and he was like, that's a brilliant idea, let's go for it. And I think it worked. People did read or notice those icons and understood the geography of the scenes, right? Otherwise they don't know what is happening, because this film is a little abstract in terms of editing also, right? So it just shifts like this. So for them to give that piece of information
in their minds,
was helpful in a way.
Crazy. So before we dive into the technical aspects of each world that you've built, I really want to ask you that for the 5 years that you worked on this film, there's not one call that you lifted of mine. You were so busy. You were just immersed in work. I really want to ask you, as a friend and as someone who would probably hire you in the future, what was going on in your head? Because considering that these were just like some young boys who had like a dream that they want to like, you know, make it come alive. What was your feeling throughout this process? Because this was your time in career as well, right? That you were giving a big chunk, like prime youth, you've given to Gami.
Yeah.
What was your thought through all of this?
So when I started this film, I was 22 something, and
Right out of college, fresh out of college.
And you know, you have that blue flame that you need to do something in life, and I had decided sooner at college that I don't want to work under somebody in a firm, and you know, them putting their name on my designs or my brand.
Yeah.
So I wanted my own you know, credit for the work I'm doing.
Right.
And that's when I got to meet these people. And I wouldn't give 100% of credit to my dedication itself, because you would reciprocate the energy you feel around you, right?
Right.
So the team itself had that energy. And where is that energy coming from? The director.
Right.
He's so mad about it. He wants everything to be perfect. He's taking time for everything and working towards it so hard. You or even me or you or anybody in the team would feel like, Arey, let's do this for him.
Right.
You know, let's
make this happen.
Let's add fuel to that energy and make the blue flame even more bigger.
Yeah.
So I think everybody had it. But having said that, personally, I
believe you
excited.
stretched thin as well, because as much as you say you did not want to work right out of college, you were working while you were doing this. And how did you manage that?
That was hell of a ride. I hardly slept, hardly ate. I was not having a healthy diet also. I used to have a 9-to-5 job, and I switched companies also, and I was working for LiveSpace, and I was handling 10 projects in that span of time when I was building sets. So managing that with this, I think it was equivalent to doing 4 films at a time.
Wow.
Because I'm working 24 hours in a day and sleeping hardly for 2-3 hours.
Right.
And pulling in resources from material to manpower to design and execute it, from a construction level to the finish level. It was all very, you know, overwhelming, at the same time exhausting.
Right.
But somewhere I knew that I'm doing this for a greater purpose, and
You had that intuition, you had that feeling.
Yeah, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Let's just grab it and make the best out of it. And I think this is the best experience of my life I've had in the past 4-5 years of Gami.
That's
which
crazy.
I don't know if I can relive unless I have the same.
But as a professional, I really commend your hard work. I really am impressed by to what lengths you would go, if provided the director has that gumption in him to to bring his ideas to life. And that's crazy. Can you also let the viewers know a little bit more about what they would have to study or do to do what you're doing?
You can start as small as looking into the featurettes or, you know, BTS of films to understand how they work. And there are a lot of books online. Art of Lord of the Rings or Art of Game of Thrones. Costumes of Game of Thrones. You can go through all those books as well. But then you do have institutions for all these things. But I personally don't wish to or don't like to, go to an institution and learn and give exams. So I chose to always learn practically.
Right. As you go.
On the side. I would rather choose to go, do an internship or assist somebody, but not, join an institution and sit for attendance or something.
So you'd say formal education is not as required as long as you have that innate interest in doing what you would want.
A lot of patience is needed. You will have to do things which you might not like, but eventually you'll learn what you want to.
Right.
and it worked out for me. I wouldn't say it would work out for everybody.
Right.
It also needs a lot of discipline and patience to get going.
And fair amount of project management skills.
So yeah, managing everything from the list to scheduling the process also was a big task.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you for enlightening us